I don't want a lot this Christmas. There is just one thing I need, and I want to welcome you to the OC. Bitch.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do
Of
well.
course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
Just what we need. You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to What You Say, an OC podcast. My name is Elise Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
And together, we're the Dailies. And I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I really want to say, what you say. Like, do I want to be like, what you say every time? Or do I want to just be like, welcome to what you say? I haven't figured it out 13 episodes in.
I think that's fine.
Do you know what I should do?
I have a note. I have a note. Is it okay if I give you this note?
Yeah.
Explore how you want to say it, but don't be disappointed in yourself after you didn't say it the way you
always
liked,
disappointed.
and then say your name like, and I'm Elise Daly, because that's what happens.
I gotta be real.
You try something, it doesn't work out, and
when
then you're
you
upset
try
with
your
yourself.
best and you don't succeed.
This is gonna be a singing episode already. I
when
can tell.
You get what you want, but not what you need. Oh my gosh, that's one of my all-time favorite Coldplay songs.
Elise, fun fact about Elise is that she loves Coldplay.
New album, November 22nd.
And it's perfectly fitting because it is cold out tonight.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is. And the big cold front came through.
It did.
And also, we're doing a Christmas episode in November.
Yeah.
But
hey, Scott, what are we doing here?
this is
what are we talking about?
We got a little distracted. This is the podcast where each and every week we celebrate the holidays and discuss the hit 2000s teen drama, The OC.
Every week, a different holiday.
Yeah, basically. This week on the show, we are covering Season 1, Episode 13, The Best Chrismukkah Ever.
The only Chrismukkah ever right now, Scott. So, of course, it has to be the best. But before we get into this episode, it's time for everyone's favorite section. It's time for the Rosies and Thornies Show.
Boop, 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 boop.
Boop.
I don't know why I did that. Every rose has its thorn.
Has its thorn.
Just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus. Elise, what are roses and thornies?
Well, the Roses and Thornies is where we find the highlight, the wonderful part about the week, but we also have a thorn. What is the one bad thing? Maybe sometimes multiple bad things, but we're just going to focus on one because every rose has its thorns.
It's true.
Scott. It's true.
That is what that song says that I sang that one time.
And as always, Scott, we're going to start with the bad. So our bad is kind of together for this week.
Well, see, so I think like this
and so is our good.
Our good and bad is again good. Like I feel like in the past few weeks we've been a little weird with roses and thornies because it's just been a very emotional.
It's a collective. It's a couple.
It's been an emotional time in our lives.
It's been
But so I guess we got to go out of order. Let's do our big news and then we can do a penny rose and thorn. I think that'd be good.
We became parents again for the third time, I guess, this week.
We birthed a puppy.
We did.
We adopted a puppy.
Yes.
So
as
many of you, all of you, if you listen to the show, know we lost our dog a couple weeks ago. It was very sad. And I had said to Elise, in the back of my head, it's almost Christmas time. And I said, I'm going to buy
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
I am going to buy Elise a puppy for Christmas. That was in my head.
Going to accept it.
It's very gracious of you. So I said to Elise, and like Elise and I don't really do secrets with our presents.
No,
we just kind of we're just like we.
I did last year.
Well, I think I always have a couple things I give you that I don't tell you about to surprise you, but I also have a thing that you usually know about, and I think you're kind of the same way. But so I told Elise, I was like, Elise, start like going on the internet, and I know it's very tough, and we missed our dog, and we missed our dog very much. So I was like, go on the internet, distract yourself by looking at the breeds of dogs that you might want for a new dog. And Elise did that, and Elise found a mini Australian Shepherd is the dog that she wanted. And then it just so happens, just out on coincidence, that there was a mini Australian Shepherd breeder right
An
down
hour
the
away.
road from us that had puppies available now. So,
I was not looking at the ones that were available now. I was looking
I
at the
know.
ones that were going to be available.
at Christmas time. It was a whole big plan. We had a great plan. We're like, it'll be perfect because it'll be the holidays and we'll be home and we can train the puppy while we're home and we shouldn't do anything rash and impulsive.
But then we were also talking about how when we're home and it's the holidays, there's always going to be something that we're going to be leaving for. And so, there never would have been a perfect time.
Long story long. We got a dog. We have Penny, our mini Australian Shepherd
Penny
puppy.
Lane McDoof.
Penny Lane
Daly.
McDoof Daly the Third Esquire.
Nope.
And she's doing something bad
Who
right
likes
now.
to chew on quartz.
So let's talk about Penny. Obviously, this is going to be our Penny, Rosie, and Thorn, and we're probably going to
So
be
we have to hold Penny.
we're probably going to be
talking
talking about
Penny.
this dog on the Roses and Thorn section for the next little bit. But I'm going to tell you my Penny Thorn, and my
For
Penny
her whole
Thorn
life.
is sleeping.
Man, you know me in my sleep. If I don't get my sleep, it's not good.
So, for those of that have never had a puppy before, puppies don't like to be in crates, and we're crate training Penny. One, because we have to go away during the work day. So until we can trust her to not completely destroy our house, we have to keep her into a crate. And also, before she's housebroken, she stays in a crate at night. Crate training is like really the best thing to do to kind of start to teach your dog the rules. So that's what we're doing with Penny, and she does not like the crate.
She loves us.
She wants to be with us constantly and does not want to be in a crate, and so she cries.
Which is good, because the whole reason I wanted Penny was because I
For a
wanted
cuddle dog.
a cuddly, and she's cuddly.
But she cries, and it's not just like whimpering. It is like screaming. Like if we lived in an apartment, our neighbors.
I'm so glad we
Our
didn't.
neighbors would be pissed at us.
They would be.
And this brings me back to when I got Ghost when she was a puppy, and I had 2 roommates, and I feel so bad for those roommates. I had forgotten how bad it gets. So I haven't gotten a lot of sleep these past 2 days. I'm pretty tired. And I already don't get a lot of sleep, so it's like the sleep I get now is not good sleep.
I
But
get sleep, and so me not getting sleep has been bad. But let me also say,
let me tell you something about Elise
I
and
can
her
sleep.
magic.
through anything.
So Elise just has this ability, and like it's weird because it'll come and go in waves. Like there'll be times when I'm watching TV, and you'll ask me to turn down the TV, but that doesn't happen very often, because you're a really sound sleeper. And so Penny was screaming on Friday night, and
once I got to sleep, I got to
Elise,
sleep.
and I was like, surely Elise has woken up to these screams. Nope. I just look over there. I'm wide awake, laying in bed, and there's Elise just enjoying life. So Elise is going to complain about the lack of sleep she's gotten. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know it's bullshit. She's been sleeping like a rock and just loving it.
What? I have not been sleeping like a rock.
Like a rock.
I get up early.
Yeah.
And let the dog out and take care of her.
Yeah, I stay up late and take care of her.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's our system.
it is.
We're ready for children. It's
No,
basically
we're
the
not.
Same. It's basically the same thing.
No, it's not.
I mean, I told Matt what we were having to do to take care of the dog, and he was like, "Oh my god, it is basically a baby." Which it's just that puppies get out of that phase way faster than humans do. Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Let's hope.
I mean, it's already gotten better. Last night was better than Saturday night, which is better than Friday night. So I think both of our thorns is just the sleeping part.
And she's gotten really good at ringing the bell to go poop outside.
Australian Shepherds are very smart dogs, so I think we're going to be good with this one. Still a little problem with the tinkling, but
Tinkly.
we'll get there. She's a little tiny little puppy.
Little teeny tiny
Little
tinkle.
Little tinkle.
Little tinkle tinkle.
Hey, Elise, what's your Penny Rose?
A penny.
Just Penny?
It's just Penny.
You don't have a
She
specific
cuddles. She jumps and plays so much. She loves the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
She's just so cute.
I love her. She's a wonderful dog. She was so thrilled to be around us. Like when we first brought her back to the house, she was very, very nervous, but her nervousness was reflected in her ability to stay next to the two of us and not go anywhere else because we were the only things trustworthy. But my Penny Rose is how well sweet Penny Girl is getting along with our other dog, Ghost.
What about how she's been chewing the blanket and she won't stop?
Well, that's not a rose, babe. That's
I'm trying to figure it out. Well, I want her to stop chewing the blanket.
Just hold her in your hands the whole hour-long podcast.
You better talk fast then.
Okay. What was I saying? You distracted me.
About how much Penny and Ghost get along.
They do. I remember we had decided to get the dog, and then we were just waiting till she would be available to pick up. And Elise was like texting me in the middle of the afternoon one day and was like, what if Ghost doesn't like Penny? And it honestly had never occurred to me. And so there was this brief moment of panic where I was like, oh shit, what if she doesn't? But luckily my dog Ghost is an angel and she's one of the gentlest dogs.
She really is. It's kind of shocking and amazing.
Well, I mean, Penny is being a puppy, so she's like jumping all over Ghost and like biting her ears and
like,
her
tail.
chewing on her tail. And Ghost is just taking it like a champ. I mean, she'll like the closest thing that we've had something bad happen is like Ghost, like when Penny annoys her and she decides to get up, she does it very suddenly, and in her like haste to get up, she scares the shit out of Penny sometimes. But other than that, everything was great. And so I love these dogs. We've been talking about this for far too long, but I love our dogs.
But that's what everyone's coming here.
I love Penny.
They just want a little pup date.
Yeah, that's the people wanted a pup date, so we're gonna give them a pup date. Okay, are you ready to talk about the show now, Elise, or do you have more things to say about Penny?
No. I have nothing else to say because I had to get the cord out of her mouth again.
There's gonna be a lot of like working no into the podcast where it's like Elise, did you like this scene? No. We might,
I mean, it really might be worth it just to
lock her up.
No, not lock her up. She's been locked up enough today. But I'm just gonna hold these cords the whole time. Okay, I think that's better.
That's fine.
I can't hold the dog the whole time, but cords are doable.
All right, Elise, let's talk about the show then. Let's talk about the OC because that's what we're here to do. Let's talk about episode 13. Tell me about it.
Let's do it. Episode 13 is the best Chrismukkah ever. It's the 13th episode of season 1 of the OC. It was written by producer Stephanie Savage, directed by Sanford Bookstaver, who also directed The Escape, the one where Marissa almost dies in TJ. It originally aired on December 3rd, 2003.
So Mr. Sandy Bookstaver, Sanford. Huh. I just put that together. The director's name is Sanford, and Sandy's name is Sanford. Look at that.
I thought you made that connection last time. Did you not?
Did I?
I thought remember. You did.
Mr. Bookstaver apparently is the go-to director to call when we need a Marissa is drunk and a danger to herself episodes, because that's another one of what this is.
Yes.
All right, here's the summary. And once again, we have to preface that we are getting each and every one of these summaries from the OC fan wiki. And
which Scott writes.
And no, it is not. Here we go. Ryan is officially introduced to the bi-religious holiday of Chrismukkah, thanks to Seth, who has set this up for his parents, the Catholic Kirsten and the Jewish Sandy. At the same time, Seth insists he has two godly forces helping him as he continues to play both Summer and Anna by claiming he has chosen the other. Meanwhile, Marissa slides more into depression and debauchery over her family life problems and gets arrested for shoplifting with Ryan. It gets worse when she gets drunk at Seth's Chrismukkah party and nearly gets arrested for drunk driving.
Seth throws parties now?
Ryan covers for her. Then he gets into a fight with Marissa saying she can't do this to herself anymore. Kirsten risks her job more than just her job by speaking out against her father, Caleb's shady business deals. Summer and Anna find out about Seth's two-timing and then decide to give him a very special gift to make him choose which one he wants to be with. So much of this summary was wrong, Elise.
Yeah.
It's not Seth's party. It's Julie Cooper's party.
But I thought Seth started throwing parties now. I mean, isn't he a big deal?
No.
Oh.
No.
You mean he's not one of the crew?
No, Seth is also not two-timing Anna and Summer. He's being entirely honest with both of them, and they don't find out about each other. He's not playing them off each other. He's just trying to avoid making any kind of decision at all because he's a child.
I'm going to try to avoid hitting the microphone again because I'm really trying here, but I'm not going to let her chew on this blanket.
Okay, that's fair. And for the future notice, you don't have to say you're going to avoid hitting the microphone. You just don't.
Well,
just don't hit the microphone.
I have to make an acknowledgement because you're going to be telling me, Elise, you kept hitting the mic, and then you're going to think that I didn't recognize that I was doing that, but I do. I recognized I was doing that, and Penny just came over to your side.
Okay. I don't see her. This is a bad podcast. We got to talk about the show.
I know. I'm trying to talk about the show. So what were you asking me about the show?
I don't remember.
About the overall thoughts of the show?
Sure. Fine.
You know what, Scott?
What?
I love Chrismukkah.
We love Christmas. Both you and I really love Christmas.
Now, I love Christmas, the holiday that I celebrate. I love Chrismukkah on this show. Chrismukkah episodes are always wonderful
This
episodes.
was a good episode of the show. I like with the Thanksgiving episode we talked about before, seasonal episodes are fun. And the Christmas episodes are always fun. And I like how the show treated it like they invented the concept of Chrismukkah. Because, okay, maybe I've never heard that phrase before, but I definitely had half Jewish friends growing up that got to celebrate both Hanukkah and Christmas. And they would brag to me about how amazing it was because they got a bunch of presents and then one day of lots of presents, like Seth says.
You heard about the holiday when it was Thanksgiving and Hanukkah together.
I have never heard of that.
Thanksgiving.
Did you just make that up?
No, it was a thing. It happened. It was the first time it happened in centuries a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember. That was just last year, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was
It was
before
when Hanukkah
that.
was like really, really early. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that
Thanksgiving.
now.
Yeah, see?
Man, we should have gotten Seth Cohen's take on that because he loves Thanksgiving too.
He does. Unless his mom messes up with the cooking.
But this was a good episode. I liked it a whole lot.
Yes, me too.
So let's get into it. Let's do it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Talk to me about the opening, the cold, the chilly.
The cold opening that introduces us to the holiest of days with the menorah and the candy cane.
I mean, it's more than one day.
We wanted to know, which are you going to choose? We have chosen Christmas. And
because we're not Jewish.
And Sandy has chosen Hanukkah. But Seth has chosen Chrismukkah. He's created his own holiday.
I'm trying to do a little bit of the Hebrew there, and it just didn't work at all.
It did. I got it a little bit. This is 8 days. This is 8 days of presents, followed by 1 day of many presents. It is wonderful for the child who is very selfish and loves all of the gifts.
Yes, but I mean, that's a very kid thing. I mean, that's what holidays were.
Yes.
That's what Christmas was when you were a kid. It was present time. I like, once again, we see Seth is big into holidays guy, and we contradict Seth with Ryan, who is not so big into holidays guy, right?
Yes, we have all these traditions. That's the whole thing that I wanted to, like, there are so many traditions in this. And then when they brought in Fiddler on the Roof at the end, and it was the song, Traditions. I loved it. You've seen Fiddler on the Roof?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, such a great musical.
But the point is that Ryan, his Christmas traditions.
Tradition.
Please don't do that again.
Every time.
His Christmas events usually revolved around his mom getting drunk and him getting his ass kicked. So Ryan is not very excited about the idea of Chrismukkah. He's not really into it. He's like, oh, that's a really good holiday for you guys, and he doesn't really want to be part of it, which gets Seth to say, oi humbug.
Oi, humbug. I love Seth's little phrases here and there at this, because this is his holiday.
Yeah.
But
even though he said Thanksgiving was his favorite holiday, and now he's all about Chrismukkah.
It's all Chrismukkah. That's what he loves.
Cohen is he's inconsistent.
Yes. And after the oi humbug, we have California.
I thought you were going to do it in like a Fiddler on the Roof way.
Here.
Don't
California.
be insensitive.
California.
It's a very thin line.
California.
Okay, so we come back from the opening and we see Seth Cohen in the Christmas spirit has completely invaded the pool house and is working on wrapping his presents for his girlfriends.
No, for his ladies, his lady friends.
Whatever.
They're not girlfriends. They're
Sure.
just
He's
his ladies.
He's just making out with both of them. So he's got what is called a Seth Cohen starter pack.
Yes. I love the Seth Cohen starter
So
pack.
the Seth Cohen starter pack is a bunch of CDs. Death Cab is in there. I forget.
The Shins.
The Shins are definitely in there. I forget what else it was. And also a DVD of Goonies, because it's not just for kids, Elise. It's not just for kids.
Can I pause for just a second?
You may.
Okay.
Are you going to talk about how great the Goonies is?
I'm going to talk about the Cranberries.
Like the band?
Yes.
Like
the
Zombie?
Cranberries. Yes.
What does this
It was on the radio this morning.
But what does this have to do with any of this?
Because that would have been a fun thing to include in the starter pack.
So your tangent here is I heard a band on the radio this morning, and I thought that would be a fun thing that Seth Cohen did not include, but maybe could have.
And you know what else? Evanescence.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. But that's not Seth's kind of music.
No.
Okay, so first of all, he's getting both of them the same gifts. And
yeah. Duh. It's actually a smart move.
No, it's not a smart move.
Yes, it is.
No. Later on in the episode, both Summer and both Summer and Anna give Seth Cohen incredibly personal gifts that are things that he would like, right?
Yeah.
And Seth's gift for the two girls that he supposedly likes is, here's a bunch of stuff I like. The point of a gift is not to give someone something that you like. The point of a gift is to give someone something that they like.
That's true.
Seth is a child, and I don't like him very much.
You gave me something that I liked, but I think it's also something you liked.
Well, sometimes...
I think you gave me a Seth Cohen gift.
No, I did not. You cannot call Penny a Seth Cohen gift.
She keeps staring in the mirror. She's just sitting underneath the chair with her paw over the leg, and she's just staring at herself.
That's great, babe. Can we talk about the show?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so after the starter pack, Sandy says that Chrismukkah is ruined, Scott.
Why? Why is Chrismukkah ruined?
Because Caleb. Everybody hates Caleb, but Sandy really hates Caleb.
So we're back to the big overarching plot line of
Balboa
the adults,
Heights.
which is the Balboa Heights.
Yes.
Sandy thought that they were going to reach a settlement agreement, but
it's Christmas. Chrismukkah.
Caleb has decided he wants a little more money, and so he's rejected the settlement deal. And we're back to they're going to go to trial now. So he's got to spend all Chrismukkah preparing for the trial.
And Kirsten's really upset about this.
Yes.
Too, because she thought that her dad was going to accept the deal, and then she found out that he didn't, and now Sandy has to work over the holidays. So she's really upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
Which I think is good.
Yeah.
Shows,
I think it's a little weird that this overarching plot line was almost solved in between episodes. Like, it didn't end up being that way, but like, it's just weird to me how this show like brings in, and I guess this is just all kind of serialized television shows. It brings in and it takes out ongoing conflict just whenever it feels like it. Like this is the episode that brings back in Marissa's depression and her drinking problem, and it's dealing
and the therapist
and the therapy,
yes.
which was so focused after the Tijuana incident, but then it just went away for a while. It's just like it just went away, and now we have to do this again. And I think it's a little weird how the show does that sometimes. I'm not like, it's just in the nature of like serialized episodic storytelling. That's like some episodes focus on some stuff. It's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
But it's a little funny.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy has a job interview, because that's another thing that's just kind of touch and go. Oh, he's not working. He's working. He's needing a job. He doesn't need a job, but he's interviewing.
That's a good step.
So that's great.
He's dressing for success. He's got to choose between two ties that the show doesn't comment on this, but they certainly look like almost identical ties.
Yes. And so he's going on and on about the holidays and about making them good. But Marissa says, no pressure, Dad. We don't even have to do the holidays, because she's just trying to be a nice, supportive daughter, recognizing that her dad doesn't have an income, is getting money from somewhere. I'm going to
let you on a little secret. I don't really like Marissa Cooper right now, so I'm not going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that's why she's low-keying the holidays. I think she's low-keying the holidays because she's depressed. She is dealing with mental health issues, or rather not dealing with mental health issues. And this is a reflection of her depression, that she just doesn't want to do anything right now.
Maybe so.
So I don't think it's...
You know who does want to do something, though?
Who?
Summer and Anna.
Mm-hmm.
They want to do the same thing, actually. And you like that one?
Mm-hmm.
And they are both going to be going to the same Christmas party with him. And neither one of them is officially, though, his date, Seth. Seth thinks that this is a good idea because he's being open and honest. He knows that everyone's going to the party. They know that everyone's going to the party. And so there's nothing that can go wrong here because Jesus and Moses are both on Seth's side here. It's a Chrismukkah miracle.
Yeah. Seth's an idiot. Seth's an idiot. Both of these girls clearly do not like the arrangement. They see each other and get mad at each other. So it's a bad idea.
Is it?
It's a bad
I don't
idea.
know.
I don't
I don't
think Seth is a dumb. He's a stupid dumb boy.
One thing, though, that is very hard to tell in this entire episode is, are these girls embarrassed or are they not embarrassed? Because every single one of them, you mentioned about Anna and about the pink on her cheeks and about how is that normal to have that much? And no, it's not. But all three of them, I mean, it is just almost clown makeup on them.
They got a lot of rouge on that face.
They do.
It's the Moulin Rouge up in this Chrismukkah episode.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Okay, so
no, but they do. Like Anna has.
they do, all of them, and Summer at the Christmas party.
I think Summer does too, and I think Marissa does too. I just think Anna's is more noticeable because it's like
she's
bright
paler
pink.
and she has blonde hair,
and it's bright pink rouge.
Well, Marissa's is pretty bright pink.
Is this just the makeup artist of
I
this
think
episode was just a little high, or is this a 2000s thing?
I don't remember it being that 2000s. I could be incorrect, but I think it would have just been the makeup artist. I'm not 100% certain.
I don't like it.
I don't
but
either.
Anna has always worn a lot of rouge, I think, in this show. And she loves those damn hats.
Yeah.
Those grandpa hats.
It's a way to show her quirky personality.
So quirky.
And another quirky person is Juju.
Ugh.
Juju is
Celebrating Chrismukkah.
Christmas, not the Hanukkah.
Look, I was making a joke because you call her Jew. It took you a little time there.
Scott, that's not nice.
You're the one that insists on saying Juju.
Juju and Kiki, that's their names. Anyways.
So apparently, every year, apparently the Newport group has a big giant Christmas party.
And Juju is in charge
house. It's at Caleb's
it.
house.
Yes.
And it's like a big long tradition. And she's worried because she wants to
impress Caleb,
she wants to live up to Caleb's ex-wife. Well, dead.
Dead. She is dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still ex. Dead. Dead ex.
Dead ex-wife.
That's heartless of me. Jesus.
Kiki's mom.
Mother. Yes.
Yes. So whenever she goes over there, Kirsten figures out that Julie's decorating with all of the old decorations that her mom used to use in the manner that they were not decorated with. And I
she's
think that
doing
this is where, Kirsten is starting to recognize that, Julie might be trying to really work her Julie magic on Caleb. And I think it's starting to kind of rub her the wrong way. I mean, not that it hasn't already, but it's just, I think it's weird for her that he is letting someone else do those things with the decorations from the mom when he hadn't really before, but it's just Julie's personality.
Sure.
Because she's so abrasive.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's weird that the show doesn't play that beat a little bit harder in this episode, because I think Christmas would be a perfect time to really play the beat of Julie Cooper has kind of swung in to be the replacement. I guess that's a little weird to play with adults, but I don't know. Like, I agree that there's that's there with Kirsten, but I think it's very muted. I don't think the show is paying a lot of attention to that.
Yeah.
I would expect an episode like this to be a good opportunity to do that, but they've got so much other stuff they're doing with Caleb and Kirsten that they don't have time to do anything like that. So it's very subtextual. It's not really there.
One of the things being that she's upset with her dad about not taking the settlement.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose of why she went over there to go talk to him. Now, let me fill you in on something that really frustrates me about this.
This is the corner of the podcast we're going to call Elise's Weird Nitpicks.
Okay. So Caleb is a very wealthy man.
Yes.
Caleb has a nice office inside his multi-million-dollar home.
Absolutely.
Very fancy.
Very extremely fancy.
So I mean, his office has a sitting room in it with a fireplace.
And a couch.
And on the floor, there are couch pillows on the floor. Not floor pillows, not oversized, made for the floor to sit on pillows, but the set people didn't even bother to put all of the pillows on the couch. They're just on the floor.
I mean, like, I think this is a fundamental difference between you and me. I think this is Pillowgate 2019, and this is a great explanation of how you and I are different.
I mean, what was going on the couch that knocked the pillows off of the couch?
I don't know. Somebody sat on it. How many?
Scott,
Elise,
the pillows were on the floor.
I gotta let
you in. It's not in his character to have pillows off of the floor.
How many times
on the floor
are pillows on the floor in our house? So many times. Are pillows on the floor.
But we're not Caleb. And it's not in our office.
Caleb does not strike me as the type of person who is a neat freak.
Caleb strikes me as the type of person that would have help that would make things very, very neat.
Yes, and maybe he gave him off for Chrismukkah.
No, he would not give anybody off for Chrismukkah. He wanted his daughter to work.
Well, that's different. Maybe Julie gave him off. Maybe she's his Bob Cratchit.
She's the Chrismukkah miracle.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I just thought it was hilarious that you made us stop the show and rewind.
It just bothered me. It just bothered me a lot.
There are pillows on the floor. I don't know. Sometimes they fall off the couch.
No. Anyway, this is where Kiki refuses to engage in the settlement that her father is not taking. And she says, I'm not working over the holidays. I'm taking the holidays off.
Which is a new thing for her.
It's new. Yeah. So good for her.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
I guess.
Good job.
She doesn't really, though, because she's seen working the very next day.
Yeah, but it's her time. She chose to do it instead of her dad asking her to do it.
Okay, but...
Makes all the difference.
Okay, cool.
It does. It does. Okay, so let's go to another couple here.
Okay.
Scott, talk to me about Ryan and Marissa.
Well, Ryan decides that he needs to go buy gifts for everyone because even though everyone has said no gifts, he's sniffed out that as a lie because it always is. And he decides he needs to go to the mall. And Marissa hears about this and says,
Mall?
Oh, you need help.
Mall?
You can't just know how to shop without me there.
Mall?
So she takes him to the mall, and then we get this extended kind of montage scene played over music where they're like walking through the mall.
Classic rom-com.
And having a lot of fun, and they're trying on lipstick.
And Jimmy Choos.
And high heels. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought they came here to help Ryan find gifts.
No, they came here for Marissa. And Marissa saw it as an opportunity to think, my boyfriend might still have money. Let's go shopping and show him the things that I would want. I see you, Marissa.
But this scene ends with them walking out of the mall, basically saying, Marissa saying, I guess I can't afford the stuff in this mall anymore, but I still like coming here because it feels right. And as they're walking out, she is accosted by a security guard who grabs her hand and says, Miss, please open that purse.
The mall never has security guards like that.
So loss prevention with shoplifting and stuff is really weird, right? Because they're not police. So they can't arrest you. They can't they can detain you.
Lock you in the janitor closet.
But they really can't, like, it's really...
Make you sniff all those chemicals.
It's really kind of... I've talked to people in loss prevention, and, like, the law around it is very, very sketchy. Like, you basically have to call the police right away because you really can't do much to the person without a cop there.
Okay.
But anyway, they don't deal with that in this movie. They find her, they grab her purse and open it, which I don't think a security guard could grab your property and open it. They could hold you until the police come, but I don't think they could do that. Anyway, they grab her purse, they dump it open, and she's stolen. She's stolen a fancy watch, some fancy lipstick, some earrings, basically all the stuff they looked at. The only thing she didn't steal were the shoes because those wouldn't fit in that little purse.
She could have worn them out. Everyone would have seen that red bottom.
But basically, so we're back into the
Marissa
Cooper problem child situation.
Yes.
So Ryan, what I love about this is Ryan is like so indignant at the security guard because he's like, right, bless his heart, is like, everybody's good. all these people in Newport are good people. I left all the bad people behind. And so he never would believe in a million years that Marissa would do this.
Or he just gravitates towards the bad people.
Well,
except for the Coens. The Coens were actually good people.
Yeah, but they gravitated towards him.
It's true. It's a good point there, Scotty.
Yeah, but I agree. I think that is something we're gonna have to deal with. That he seems to like problematic people because I mean, from the very beginning, from the first episode of the show, we painted a picture of Marissa Cooper as someone with a lot of problems from the start. So yeah, and now we're really dealing with this full on. So
yeah. Well, Ryan's kind of disappointed in his girlfriend, but when he goes home, he sees that he gets some gifts from his mom and his brother, which he's kind of hesitant about. And the gifts are sitting on the table. Ryan didn't know that he got them first, but Seth sees that his mom or Ryan's mom and brother sent him the gifts. And so it's kind of that weird thing that Seth sees as Ryan's part of our family, but we're seeing that he really is still part of another family, and they forget that he isn't theirs, a part of their family.
This is a very good scene, I think.
Yeah.
Because Seth is basically like, when he starts talking about that stuff, I don't know how to respond. I don't know what to do with that. I've never experienced that kind of hardship, and so I don't know what to do. And so they're kind of at a loss of what to do for him. And I guess the answer that the show gives is just make him feel as welcome as possible.
But I think that it's also a good place, or I guess how they framed it, to where family, you can have trouble with family, and family is important because that's where Kirsten also sees that, her dad's a part of her family and he's doing something that's dishonest and wrong. And so I'm going to end up creating problems with my family while I'm sitting at the table looking at these gifts that are a problem with Ryan. And so I thought it was really good. Had a lot going on in that scene there, Scott.
I agree.
Lots wrapped up that was unseen that
I agree.
were going to be uncovered.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Yes.
The mother and the brother that we've met.
Yeah.
Do you buy that they would send him gifts?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe his mom. I do not get that his brother in prison would send him a present.
What would his brother have in prison to give?
Well, fortunately, the show dodges that bullet by just never having him open the presents. So we never have to deal with what they sent him. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Really good scene. Emotional scene. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But in the scene, Kirsten discovers something. She sees a document and is like, and then she dials someone on the phone, and we're going to have to wait to find out what happens
next.
Like 30 seconds.
Commercial break. Pause. Coming back, Marissa, Jimmy, and Julie are talking about Marissa stealing.
Yeah.
Jimmy's blamed because who else would Marissa learn about stealing from other than Jimmy, who stole money from everyone as part of his business corruption. Then Jimmy decides the best way in order to give Marissa punishment is for Marissa just to decide her own punishment, which great parenting technique.
We were discussing your punishment. We were discussing her punishment. Yeah. So I think one of the things that this part of the show did for me was made me realize what the heck is wrong with Marissa Cooper, besides just dealing with some literal brain chemistry stuff that we have no control over. But her parents suck. Both of them. Jimmy Cooper is way too coddling, does not parent her. He does not parent. He's nice. He's kind. I appreciate his kindness at times, but there are times when you need to be a little Julie Cooper on someone's ass.
If you're caught stealing items. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. You don't get to come up with your own punishment.
Right. And on the other hand, we have Julie Cooper, who's just too much, there's too much going on there. And so there's no balance. There's no balance in that relationship of someone who will just sit her down and be like, look, here's what we got to do, and here's why we're doing it. And so you get someone who is completely supported on one side and completely rebelled against someone on the other, and they just don't seek the help they need. Like earlier we didn't talk about it, but when he's putting on his tie, Jimmy's talking about therapy, right? And he's going, maybe we need to do that therapy thing. And Marissa's just like, no, I don't need it. And he's just like, oh, okay, fine. And he's like, no, like you be a parent.
Who is in charge? I know that's a lot. I'm not going to get into it. Never mind.
Ooh, Elise was about to tell a school story, and that's
No, it's not a school story. It's just a parenting generation. I'm not going to get into it.
That's a school story.
It's not school. It's not like a particular one. It's just a generalization.
Gained from you working at an elementary school.
Yes.
Okay. School story.
I'm not going to go over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ryan is upset that he has to get all of these gifts after people told him that no, we're not doing gifts. So and now he has to get 8. Huh. Oh, what's the significance of 8, Scott? What would Seth find as the significance in the number 8?
Some sort of holiday that had 8 as a significant number.
Yes, they only had one of something and needed it to last 8 days.
Because he says he only saved enough money for one present, but he needs to give 8
Yes.
So he starts to tell the story of Hanukkah, and then the television show goes, wait a minute, we don't actually have time to get into this.
Seth doesn't really care about Hanukkah and Christmas. He just wants all the presents.
It is hilarious. I mean, it is very kiddish, right? But this idea that the meaning behind any of these holidays are entirely irrelevant.
Yes.
It is only the stuff that you get from them.
But what is sweet here is that Seth gives Ryan his own stocking because the rest of the family has their own stocking that with their name on it by the fireplace, and Ryan didn't have one. And so the Coens thought that with Ryan being a part of the family, he needed something to be a part of the family with. And I thought that was really sweet. And Ryan liked it.
I think he's torn on it because I still don't think he knows how he feels about the holiday yet. I mean, by the end of this episode, we'll see him hang that stocking, and it's this beautiful moment.
Well, spoilers.
Whatever. But in the moment, I think he's pretty torn about it. I think he sees it as the sweet gesture it is, but I think he's still very much oi humbug, right?
Oi humbug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so we go back to the adults, and we see that Sandy and Caleb have finally reached a settlement. He got an extra $15 million out of Sandy Cohen, that Caleb, so he's going to sell the Balboa Heights back to the city for $215 million.
Great deal, Caleb.
Such a great deal. But Kirsten Cohen has found out the secret.
She has chosen her husband over her father.
So she finds a geological survey that her company had done at the behest of her father. And we'll learn out later, but we're going to talk about it now. The geological survey has said that the Balboa Heights are seismically unsound, so no insurance company will insure them. The city, not the city. Well, yeah, the city, they would never have gotten a building permit for that area. It just never would have happened. So the Balboa Heights are worthless. And
Scott.
So
this changes everything.
Well, I mean, literally, yes. But Caleb is a criminal. That what he did there.
Did he pull a Jimmy?
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy took what, $6 million? He was trying to defraud the city out of $215 million. That's
a smart, savvy businessman, isn't it?
I mean, he commissioned a survey that determined the land was worthless, and then when you're in a legal action with someone, you usually have like a subpoena for documents and things like that. So he hid or pretended the document didn't. He committed fraud. And they busted him on it. His daughter. Like I am very surprised at the show's unwillingness to understand the like. It was illegal and it was bad what was done. And like I love that they use this as a moment where Kirsten like goes to her husband and gives her husband the document, like chooses her husband over her father. Like, I think that's important for their relationship and I like it. But like outside the world of the show, he wouldn't go to jail because he's a rich guy, but like the company, it would be the end of the company.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's so,
and Kirsten recognized that.
Well, she recognizes that it's the end of her job. Like that she feels like she gives this to him. Her dad's definitely going to fire her.
But she also, at the end, whenever her dad came over and he was wondering why she did that, she mentioned that it was going to destroy the company if it got out.
Yeah.
So she recognized that. And she knew that by doing that, it was sacrificing her own job and possibly the relationship with her dad. But it was the right thing to do.
So we'll talk about it when we get to the settlement.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah.
So Anna shows up at Seth's door with some mistletoe and wants to go together. Bah, she can't do that. But then, oh my gosh, Summer shows up with some mistletoe and wants to ride together. So they're all going to go together.
It's almost as if the show is showing us that neither Anna or Summer is happy with this arrangement. And Seth is taking advantage of both of them by perpetuating it and not making a decision, even though everyone around him is telling him he needs to make a choice. And
but it's Chrismukkah. You don't have to choose on Chrismukkah.
That is bullshit.
It's Chrismukkah.
It's bullshit. You should choose.
It's Sunna.
What?
It's Summer and Anna. Sunna.
Sunna?
It's either Sunna or Anmer.
I like Anmer better.
You like Anmer?
I like Anmer better.
Okay. It's an Anmer miracle.
Okay. So then we go,
all the couples are getting ready together. They're going to go to the party. So we have the little triangle over here. And then we have
Ryan and Marissa.
Okay.
Chilling. And Marissa is complaining to Ryan about how she has to go to therapy.
Ugh.
And Ryan, like a sensible human being, is like, hey, maybe that's a good idea. Because remember that time when you almost died in Mexico? And that other time when you shoplifted and got caught and almost went to jail? Hey, maybe you should get help for that.
But no, Scott, because Marissa's the only normal one in her family. I mean, those things are all normal.
Those are totally normal things
Duh.
that everyone does, that have to get care flighted out of Mexico to get their stomach pumped so they don't die. Totally.
So let's just, Ryan needs to go away for a bit because I forgot, quote unquote, my wrap up in the bathroom.
She's mad at him and she sends him away.
To get her vodka because she's going to drown her sorrows.
Yep, she gets a little...
in the good old alky.
A little, it's not I don't know. It's a small little bottle. It fits in her little tiny purse.
Yeah.
But it's still enough to get
her
you
little tiny
wasted.
purse.
It's a little tiny girl purse. It's not one of the big, like, bags.
No.
It's a little clutch.
It's a clutch.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you knew the name.
I am intelligent about
You are
some
so
things.
fashionable.
Thank you.
Yeah. So they're all at the party. And one thing that I love is the Caleb-Sandy dynamic. It's just really funny.
It is.
Because you know that Caleb doesn't like Sandy. Sandy doesn't like Caleb. They already have the thing that's going on at work. But they're going to try and be cordial as much as they can at the Christmas party. And so Sanford...
Yeah, it comes off in doublespeak, right? They're not directly confrontational to each other, but it's always like snide, passive-aggressive remarks.
Yeah.
Like using his full name, Sanford.
And that Sandy just needs to return to his Berkeley days where he used to smoke trees.
There's a tree over there. Maybe you can smoke it. I love the adult characters are my favorite.
That means it's a good teen show because I feel like
No, it means I'm 34 years old.
No, but I always feel like the shows that are the most successful teen drama shows have very successful adult relationships too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that you're invested in every character and it works because of that.
Sure.
That's why I really like this show.
Yeah. Also,
you're old.
The eyebrows.
And the eyebrows. You can never forget about those eyebrows.
Don't they make a joke about the eyebrows in this episode? Like how you're just like your father.
Yeah.
And he goes,
oh no, they haven't come in yet, have they? It was funny.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay. So the Ryan and Marissa are also at the party, and Marissa doesn't want to go to talk to Caleb after her mother comes over to tell her now it's her turn to go and talk to Caleb because Juju and Caleb are together, and so Julie wants Marissa to go be nice.
Look,
but Marissa refuses. She doesn't want to.
You know that I don't like Julie Cooper. You know.
Yes.
I don't think she's doing anything wrong in this episode.
No.
Like, I'm putting on this party, come talk to my boyfriend, say hello to my boyfriend is not a ridiculous request to have.
Go to therapy because you've stolen things.
And so Marissa is just so indignant here. She's just like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm fine. You're going to force me to drink, so I'm going to run to the bathroom, and I'm going to drink my vodka. I'm going to go drink in the bathroom, which is always just the coolest.
Yeah, it really is. So she does. She leaves. She goes to drink in the bathroom, and Julie and Ryan are standing there hating those holidays together, drinking together.
Yeah.
One Coke, one alcohol, but you know,
Could be
still
a 7
two
and
peas
7.
in a pod.
You never know.
It's true. And you hate Julie.
Uh-huh.
I like Julie.
Here's the thing that you people need to know about Elise Daly.
I like Cersei.
The powerful but very mean women in television shows are Elise's shit. She loves those characters.
I do.
They're strong, but they're mean. And Elise is like, yes, please. Yes, please. I would like more of that, please.
But I like Julie. I think she's misunderstood.
I don't like, I hate Julie as a person. I think Julie as a character is really great. I think she provides a lot of conflict and a lot of fun scenes. So I don't like her as a person.
I think she needs some help. She needs a little refinement.
She needs a little therapy too.
She needs a little refinement, but she's got some good stuff to work with.
Marissa makes a point that both her parents need to be in therapy, but they're not because no one's making them. And I'm like, good point, Marissa, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go also.
That's true.
You dummy.
That's true. Okay, so we have Sandy go talk to Caleb about the geological survey that he did find out about. And Sandy, being so nice that he is, says, it's okay, I'll buy it back from you for $1.
Yeah.
And then he slams $1 in his palm.
And this is when I'm confused because they've basically found out that Caleb committed a crime. He did a crime. He did the crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just like going to be like, if you sell the thing to me for $1, I will not expose your crime. Okay. That's some shady under the table dealing.
That's a Chrismukkah miracle.
Whatever. That's fine.
So many Chrismukkah miracles.
Merry Christmas.
What are you gonna do?
$1.
Just for one. Okay. We got Anna. We have the gifts of Christmas to Seth. First, we have Anna's gift. I'm going to talk about Anna's. I'm going to let you talk about Summer's gift.
It's a smart move. Go ahead.
So
what did Anna give Seth?
Anna gives Seth a handmade comic book of The Adventures of Seth Cohen and Captain Oates, Volume 1, Confidence.
So it's like their story, right? Because that was their first interaction was Confidence Cohen.
Yeah.
So it's like she wrote him a comic book. It's like a sweet ass. Like,
she's very thoughtful and recognizes the relationship that she wants to have and how well she knows Seth. And so she capitalizes on that. And it's really sweet.
It is really sweet. It is
kind of like that gift that I got you for Christmas that one year that I made. You remember that gift?
I do.
It's right up there.
Oh yeah. It's on top of my bookshelf. Yeah.
It's a cute gift, isn't it?
I loved it because you really meant it and you really worked hard on it. And it's great gift, Anna. Great gift.
And Elise. Yes.
And Elise.
But Anna and Elise can't compete. We can't compete with Summer.
Can I talk about Summer's gift?
Scott, tell me about Summer's gift.
So Summer's gift to Seth is to take him into a dark room and to take off her clothes. And underneath her clothes, she's dressed up like Wonder Woman. She's got the whole thing. She's got the golden lasso, and she lassos him with the lasso of truth. It's a pretty good present too. It's a pretty good present. It's pretty good.
Scott, if you had to choose between the two presents, which present would you choose?
I specifically told you before we started recording not to make me choose.
But you have to choose, Scott.
I don't want to.
Scott, you have to choose. If you had to choose, it's okay. What would you choose?
Here's the thing. I think both the presents are really sweet. I do. Like, I think they're sweet in specifically the ways in which these two women are different from each other.
But Scott,
I think they are both caring greatly about Seth Cohen and the things that he is interested in.
You
Obviously,
have to choose.
I would pick Wonder Woman. Why have you not dressed like Wonder Woman yet? What are you doing?
I don't know. Okay. I'm so glad that you've chosen.
I mean, you
chose poorly.
You can only read the comic book once. That Wonder Woman costume, it would multiple
You get a
times.
lot of use out of that. Okay. Sounds good.
But so the thing about this though is,
oh yeah, when she's pulling him in with the lasso of truth she
sees the comic book.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Anna walks in and sees her dressed like that. And it's this, I think, this actually really great moment, Elise, where both of them look at each other and the gifts that the other person has given and they're both embarrassed. Anna's embarrassed because she's like, oh, what am I, an 8-year-old? I gave him a comic book. And Summer's embarrassed because she's like, oh, look, he created this really sentimental and personal thing for him, and I just dressed up, and she calls herself like Wonder Whore or something.
Wonder Woman is not a whore.
Wonder Woman is not a whore. I like this a lot because I think it's like both characters like realizing in a way that they're each giving him something different, right? But they
each appreciate what the other one is offering.
Right. It's this mutual respect between the two of them. And we've talked many times throughout the show about how I really hate it when they were being like really catty and mean to each other. And I like that mutual respect, but that mutual respect makes them come to a realization that like this bullshit, like playing both sides thing and not relationships, we gotta stop that. And Summer, in her most vulnerable moment in the show so far, has been like, I like you and I want to date you and just you. And Anna says the same thing, and then they walk off leaving him, and I'm like, fuck yeah, girls. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Powerful women right there.
Also, the Wonder Woman costume was really
You really
nice.
liked that?
Yeah.
I forgot that she had done that, and then I remembered her hair. And I saw her hair, and I was like, oh, yeah,
So
this is that
the
one.
The entire scene, Seth Cohen's mouth is like wide open. And maybe that happened to me also. Look, I looked up. She was over 18, so I did not feel gross about that.
Oh, yeah. Scott was like, what? What? On the couch. It was just like, it was
Rachel
really
Bilson
funny.
is a very beautiful woman.
She
and I'm
is.
not
She's
gonna
really
feel ashamed
pretty.
for that.
Yeah. She's really pretty.
Yes.
So Jimmy and Kiki are dancing together because I guess Sandy's just completely over that. That kind of struck me as you're just
It was
gonna
like slow dancing.
gloss.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird.
Look, I don't see any problem with dancing with your friends. I don't see any problem with that.
No.
But
After it has already
considering-
been shared that
Yeah.
he kissed
Maybe-
you, and
maybe-
it brought a little bit
maybe
of,
make a little room for Jesus
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
worried
Yeah.
about that.
Oddly enough, though, their conversation is revolving around parenting and about how even though they had some mistakes whenever they were kids and wish that their parents wouldn't have known everything that they did, that they both have good kids. Seth
Yeah.
is a good kid and Marissa is a good kid.
And then we
Cut to Marissa emptying the bottle of vodka into her soda in the bathroom.
She being a bad kid.
Yeah, not making great choices. So then she comes out of the bathroom to kiss Ryan. She, is trashed. He's upset and says it's just like his mom all over again.
Yeah, which is a rough thing to say.
Yeah, but in all actuality,
Sure.
the party that they were at before.
I mean, one of the great structural things about this episode, he says at the beginning, it's like my Christmas traditions are my mom getting too drunk and me getting in a fight. And what happens is his girlfriend gets
Traditions.
really drunk.
Traditions.
His girlfriend gets really drunk and then he gets into a fight. And so it mirrors it.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah. So the fight, though, this time with his girlfriend, not necessarily he gets punched in the face.
He gets punched in the heart.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. He's upset. He's trying to, run after her after he makes that comment. And she said, it's like, no. She has enough people in her life telling her what to do. So she gets into her car. She's trying to leave. He gets in the front of the car to stop her because he wants to drive. He doesn't want her to drive. And she backs into the car behind her.
Oops.
Because she's definitely not fine.
No.
Meanwhile, Caleb and Sandy make public their deal. Which is good.
I mean, like, I like that Sandy's just lost $215 million. That kind of makes me a little happy. Which
Caleb has lost that?
Yeah. But also, like, the way he's framed this now is that he's donating the money back to the city, and so he gets to come out looking like a hero, which... It's not. I don't want to see the bad guys win, but I guess he technically lost. I don't know. I guess
Sandy trying to be nice because it's his father-in-law.
I guess the lesson of all this is that rich people are bad, and they get away with it.
Yep. But someone else who gets away with something that's not rich, Ryan.
I mean, his parents are rich.
Now they are, but not really. Okay, so Ryan is driving Marissa home, and Marissa decides to open up the vodka again because you know what?
Stupid.
He hasn't already reamed me enough, and he gets really upset. But in the meantime, they're arguing. A cop pulls them over.
Now she's got an open container of vodka.
Open container. She dropped the top. She can't close it, so she just puts it down in the floorboard in between her feet.
Really dumb.
Dumb
It's like you've never been pulled over by a cop with an open container of alcohol in your car. I mean, what?
The cop asks if they've been drinking. Ryan says no. And then all of a sudden, the cop gets called away on another crime, I guess, that's taking place somewhere.
He's about to ask Marissa to step out of the car, and then he gets a call on the radio. What did he see in Marissa that made
Jesus and Moses. Jesus and Moses.
I asked, what did he see in Marissa? And the response is Jesus and Moses. It's like, what?
I was already saying that before you asked the question. Okay.
Yeah.
He smelled her probably.
Probably.
Like the
car probably reeks of her damn vodka. Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, but they would just I know this is supposed to be really nerve wracking, but they would just breathalyze him and see that there's no alcohol. I mean, I guess open container is still, if you're that's right. If you're a driver, you're on probation, you have an open container, you're fucked, even if you weren't drinking any of it. So, yeah. So yeah, there's this really emotional scene. As soon as the cop goes away, Ryan gets out of the car,
good job, Ryan.
Walks in a huff over to the other side, opens the door, grabs the bottle, flings it, slams the car door, and then just does this really emotional, this is fucking teen drama shit right here.
Yeah.
He just slams the door 6 times in a row. And Marissa's like, you're scaring me. And he's like, good, because you're scaring me.
Drinking, crying, cops, then it must be Christmas. Traditions.
Do it. I knew you were going to do it. And he basically says to her, I left this behind. I'm not doing it again.
But he keeps going back to it.
But he basically gives her an ultimatum without explicitly saying it. And it is finally the one thing that gets her to start paying attention and realize that she needs some help, maybe.
Good.
And the thing I love about this is that it's Ryan. Because where are her parents in all this? I don't fucking know. Her parents don't know any of this is going on.
Don't know that she left, broke the tail light.
But it's Ryan. It's Ryan that is taking care of her here. And I like that. But we're going to talk a little bit about that as we get to the end of the show.
So Seth's ladies, they laid down the law. And they said that Seth has to choose. And he doesn't like that. He recognizes, though, Scott, there has been in this episode
a Chrismukkah miracle.
A Chrismukkah miracle, because the old Ryan Atwood, he would have been busted. The cop pulls him over, but no, Scott, there was the super team of the Jesus and the Moses. Yep. They came together, they worked together, and Ryan was touched by an angel. And with this new surge of confidence in Seth Cohen, he decides that he can have his own Chrismukkah miracle. And just like the invention of this, he shouldn't have to choose, but choose he does by not choosing either.
Why?
I don't know.
I like the scene a lot because the director, Mr. Woodcock, whatever his name is. What's his last name? What's his last name?
Isn't this Bookstaver?
It's Bookstaver. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But good old Bookstaver does this thing where the camera is spinning around Seth as he's talking to the girls, and then as it passes behind his head, it switches from one girl to the other as he basically gives them the same speech almost. But he ends up telling both of them that he just wants to be friends with both of them, and their response is, I don't want to be your friend. They reject his present, they reject his friendship, and then he leaves. And I'm like, what are you doing? But I understand the difficulty in making the decision, right? You like Anna, you like Summer, you don't want to have to make the decision. But let me tell you something about math. 1 is more than 0.
That's true.
So clearly the answer here was to pick fucking Wonder Woman. I like Anna. I don't want to make it seem like I don't like Anna. I'm just I'm ride or die for
Summer.
What's their relationship name? Sethmer? Smith? Comer.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it later. We'll fix it later. Yeah.
I want that relationship. And as much as I like Anna, so that's the one I'm going for. But I don't understand. I don't understand why he didn't pick. But whatever. Maybe we'll find out in future episodes.
So Caleb comes to the Cohen's house to yell at Kiki about giving the report to Sandy. And he's upset about it. But he's also really proud of her.
Yeah, because she was sneaky.
Yeah. And that's all he wants is someone to sneak around.
We'll make a real estate mogul out of you yet. Maybe you'll be doing crimes soon. That's what we all do. We all do crimes.
Yes.
We can all talk about our crimes over all our money.
Perfect. And this is the part next that I really like in the show because Ryan is all ready to go and take Marissa to the therapist because she's finally agreed to go. Mm-hmm. And Sandy comes in and he says, no, you don't have to go. You can stay. You don't have to be the parent anymore.
Right.
And I love that because Ryan, he's just been trying so hard to just be so helpful, but he still has not, I think, really gotten to be a kid.
Yeah.
Because his girlfriend is a piece of work.
Well, and he has this golden opportunity, right? Like he's gotten this chance that nobody gets, like a second chance. And one thing we've said earlier is that he will drop everything and damage everything to protect Marissa. He's like, we've seen him do it time and time and time again. And it's just like, you got to focus on you, dude. Like it was a Chrismukkah miracle. It was almost all over. Mm-hmm. If they had caught him with that open container on probation, that's donezo. He's back in prison. And like, I think Sandy's absolutely right. Is that like, because the thing about therapy, and like, I love how he got her to the door, right? Like sometimes you need the people in your life to get you to realize that you need help. Mm-hmm. You need those people. But if you're actually gonna get better, you got to do it yourself. Like it has to be because you want to, right? Mm-hmm. So like at one point, and Sandy says this, you got to step back and let her figure herself out, her stuff out. I totally agree. Like focus on your stuff. Have Christmas with your family. Spend time with your family and let her deal. And it's not selfishness. It's just realizing that people got to deal with their own stuff. Yeah. I loved it. It. It's my favorite part of the episode.
And so she's working on it. She's going to the therapist. She walks in the waiting room. She sits down. She sits down across from Oliver.
Who's Oliver?
I hate Oliver.
So,
do you remember?
I remember you told me that there was a character that was coming that you hate.
That I hate.
And this is him. He's here.
This is him.
Oliver.
I hate Oliver already because I know what happens.
Don't spoil me.
I'm not spoiling anything other than the fact that we might have to have a section of Elise is impassioned hatred towards Oliver each segment.
What is his last name? Is it like Prentice or something?
Trasky or something like
Oliver
that. Trask. That's what it is. Yes.
I don't know why I thought Prentice.
Ugh, I hate him. I hate him so much.
So here's my issue here. We watched this episode twice in preparation for the show, and I'm like really trying to see if I can find out like if the show wants me to hate this person immediately, or if I was just like reading the anger waves coming off of you.
I was emanating, I'm sure.
You definitely were.
Because I'm tense right now. I don't like him.
I do think this guy comes off as a pretentious, the way he's dressed, the way he talks to her, like.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, just like he says like, oh, just sleeping pills? Well, then you weren't serious. Kurt Cobain was serious. And I was like, oh, look, a kid knows about Kurt. Oh, you know about Kurt Cobain. It's just like, it seems very pretentious and very like, and again, I can't live in a bubble. So I don't know if I had come to this episode without the waves of anger that you're pushing out there, if I would have seen him this way. But I immediately was like, uh-oh. I was like, this guy's trouble. This guy's going to be trouble in multiple ways. And not because he's in therapy. Like, on the other hand, she is about to stand up and leave therapy, right? Like she sits down, she's uncomfortable, she stands up to leave, and that is when Oliver starts to talk to her. And he basically successfully convinces, quote unquote, her to stay, and she enters the therapy room, and that's where her part in this episode ends. So to throw a bone to this guy that I can already tell I'm probably not going to like very much, he got her to go into the door, and that's good.
And I'm going to refuse to say anything because I don't want to let my aggression towards this character spoil anything for you.
We'll go to the prediction section in a bit, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Anyway.
But we do finish the show right where we started. Everyone's back in the family room. Seth is sad that it didn't go well with his girls, and Ryan walks over to hang up his stocking as, just like the beginning, Sandy and Kirsten walk in. They're bringing something home. This time it's not the Christmas tree tradition. This time it's the movie tradition from Sandy's family. And yes, they bring home Fiddler on the Roof. Tradition! Tradition!
Or It's a Wonderful Life, my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Or Sandy's favorite Christmas movie, Over the Top, starring Sylvester Stallone, the arm wrestling movie.
Yes.
Peter Gallagher. Not too shabby Sylvester Stallone impression.
No, not really. So Seth gives his parents the starter packs that he was going to give to the ladies, but it was unsuccessful.
Which is weird. Like, what are they going to do with them?
They don't know. They know exactly.
It's especially weird because they're identical.
So you're going to open it and be like, oh,
cool.
Yeah, one for each car.
I can't wait for my 40-something-year-old parents to have 2 copies of Death Cab for Cuties Transcendentalism.
Yep. And we end with the stockings hung by the chimney with care and a picture of everyone by the fireplace. Plus the menorah.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Is the menorah like hovering?
He has it like in his arm and it's on his knee.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. The first time I watched it, I thought it was like hovering magically.
Sure, it was photoshopped.
Chrismukkah, baby.
But that's it. Chrismukkah.
1 Chrismukkah down, 3 Chrismukkahs to go. Right?
I think so.
There's 4 seasons of this show?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do one every season.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. Okay, so Scott, we're going to start this next section of That's So 2000s off.
This is the part
I only have 2.
We watched the show and it reminded us about what it was like to be alive in the year 2003.
Yeah, I only have 2.
What are they?
First is CDs as gifts.
Yeah, remember when we had those in 2003?
Remember when we had CDs?
Compact discs.
Yeah, and you got like the cool thing that went on the visor in your car that had all the CDs,
yeah.
so it was like a quick change.
Mine was under my seat because the visor one on my car didn't have enough room in it.
Because you had so many CDs.
CDs.
That's awesome.
I know.
Now the next one.
And you know what CDs I had? I think I had every single one of the CDs that Seth Cohen gives in his starter pack.
I married Seth Cohen, and I am so happy about it. Okay. So the next one is the black and white dress that Summer wore to the Christmas party was a dress that was very popular and lots of people wore in Homecoming.
Okay, that's fair. Counterpoint.
Yes.
The entire purpose of that dress was to take off so that you could see the Wonder Woman costume underneath it. So I don't care about the dress.
Okay. So out of that, so 2000s, you pick the
CDs.
The CDs.
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
You know, it's so funny that like Wonder Woman back in 2003 was probably like a really quaint reference that not many people knew anything about. But in 2019, everybody knows Wonder Woman.
Everybody knows. Okay, Scott.
Go ahead. Let's do relationship status.
Okay, Scott, we have relationship status for this week. We're going to start off with Coop and Ryan. Coop and Ryan last week, they had an 8 out of 10. This week, Ryan recognizes that Marissa needs help and agrees with her parents to go to a shrink. She does not like that. Marissa ends up behaving like his mom on the holidays, and Ryan states that he has left that behind and doesn't want to do it again. Will he eventually leave Marissa behind too? We don't know, but we do want to dock them 1 point. We move them from an 8 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10.
You know, you made a lot of reading errors as you were reading that because you're reading it so fast. Like, what about you just try to do it at the normal speed?
Maybe I'll try that on the next one, Scott. What about Seth and Summer this week, Scott? How are Seth and Summer doing?
Well, last week we made a Seth and Summer rule, which is that they're going to stay at 5 out of 10 until he picks one of them. And Summer or Wonder Woman, I can't tell. What? I don't get it. You wrote this. It's both. It's always both. She's really into Seth and tells him that he needs to choose. And he does choose. He chooses hidden option C, which is none of the above. And she says,
that's wrong, Scott.
It is wrong. And she's like, I don't want to just be your friend, which is, I don't know, it's mean.
I want more.
Okay, at least what about Seth and Anna?
Seth and
Okay, you went too far the other direction.
Anna.
You gotta go to the middle. Go to the middle.
Last week,
We're already above
5
on time. We're already above on time.
/10.
That's a forward slash. That's not a backslash.
Anna is thoughtful and gave Seth a comic that she made herself. OMG. She doesn't want to just be friends and tells Cohen that he needs to choose. He needs to choose. 5 out of 10.
So here's my question for you, because you did the relationship status this week.
Yeah.
Seth has denied he had an option to date either one of the girls. He chose neither. And yet you still list their relationship status as 5 out of 10. You did not lower it below that.
No, I didn't.
Why?
Because.
I feel like they should at least be like a 3 out of 10.
No. Because
Fine.
they both still like him.
All right, fine. Next up, we have Sandy and Kirsten Cohen.
Tell me how they were last week, Scott.
Last week, you gave them a 7 out of 10. This week, Kirsten does not agree with her dad's devious behavior at work and opts to give her husband ammunition to take her father down. This is a lot of war references. She must really love her husband. We're going to bump him up to 8 out of 10.
Great job, Sandy and Kirsten. We're going to finish this week out with Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel. Last week, they had a 6 out of 10. This week, Caleb lets Julie hold her Christmas extravaganza at his house and put up the Christmas tree his ex-wife and Kiki's mom used to put up in their house. Is Caleb finally ready to find a new mommy for Kirsten? We'll find out next week. This week, they get one more point, 7 out of 10.
And once again, we have to say, when we say ex-wife, we mean the woman who died.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. All right, let's move on.
What do you think about next week,
predictions.
Scott?
So Oliver, nothing but trouble.
Oliver Twist.
The twist about Oliver is he's going to really fuck up her chance at recovery. That's my guess.
Okay.
That he's actually not that interested in getting better, and he's going to mess that up for her.
Okay. I hate Oliver.
Well, I mean, I will say that part of my prediction is predicated on the fact that you've made it very clear how much you hate Oliver. I don't like Marissa right now either. And look, I don't want to say it like Marissa has issues. She's got mental health issues. She has stuff she needs to take care of. And so
She does.
I'm not like ragging on her because of that, but it's like everything is everyone else's fault constantly. It is never, ever, ever her fault. And I hope on this process with therapy, she realizes that some stuff's your fault, Marissa. Some stuff's your fault.
Yeah.
All right. The next prediction is that Seth is going to end up regretting the choice. He's going to choose to rekindle things in that summer sun.
Okay. We'll find out next week.
I don't have any evidence to support this one. It's just what I want to happen.
Okay. Well, we'll find out what happens next week on episode 14, The Countdown. So
it's the final countdown.
So what holiday is this, Scott?
I'm going to guess that's going to be a New Year's.
You're so right. You're so good. One more prediction from Scotty.
All right, that's all we have time for this week. If you like this podcast, you can check it and all the other shows we produce on our website, www.doofmedia.com.
Also, you can consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/doofmedia.
It's not a backslash. Just say slash. Just say slash. That is definitely a forward slash.
No. It's backslash.
Will you please talk to me about Patreon?
Oh, yeah. So Patreon is where you give us some money and then we give you some content, some access, some friends, lots of things. But you got to give us money first.
Man, you're selling this.
Yeah. So at the very basic level, you get access to our Discord, which is where you can chat with all the other people who have chosen Doof Media as your network. I don't know.
You're killing it.
I am.
You can give us money and help support the show and all the other shows we do. And,
oh, yeah. That's a good way to phrase that.
You get a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
As a part of that.
Yeah.
So maybe do it.
So maybe... Yeah. Great job, Scott.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So good at explaining things.
All right, guys, that is it for this week. So long.
Wait, if they want to leave us a review,
they can do it.
over on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, just head on over there.
Just click that 5-star button and then type, I love Scott. Elise is okay too.
And Penny is the best.
Penny is clearly the best.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
Okay.
So next week,
Farewell.
same time, same place.
From the OC.
Okay.
Bitch. Do you really think that's a backslash? Please Google backslash right now and tell me what comes up. Please do it. Please Google right now backslash.
No. Backslash.